Hello.
Hey, I almost can't believe it. Betty found her way back. Here I was thinking I'd never see her again.
Yep, she was trying to milk Caners.
Oh, Betty, you big goof. What were you thinking in that little metal noggin of yours? You nearly worried me to death. And ain't you just the most reliable freelancer in the colony?
Oh, yeah.
Let me just take a look at Betty here and we'll talk about payment. Yep, that's right. Her parameters for movement and target acquisition are a mess. I'll bring her back to the garage and get her sorted out. Since Betty's back safe and sound, I'll be sure to let my coworkers know that you're a good one. Here's some money for your effort. Least I can do to show my thanks.
You're welcome, friend. Trying to keep an eye on her this time.
Oh, I won't be turning my back on Betty again, believe me. Thanks again for all your help. You really saved us both from the edge.
Cool. And we picked up a science weapon, the other buddy. So it's a wrench of some sort. One-handed melee. Interesting. And then, was it round the back here that we had a workbench? Yeah, it was. So let's repair everything. And now we should be safe to go into the holy caves. Geological surveys appears to be what we're looking for. There will be monsters. Mantisaurs, I assume. Oh no, it's Canid.
Here we go.
Oh, that's fine.
Not that good.
Yeah, easy. We
That's the
can
last.
probably clean them up. Although one of them has just broken my legs. But that's fine. Parasites as well. As the plot suddenly thickened.
Nice hit!
We got trouble. My legs!
Yep, happens to be earlier, Max. No, it was a Mega Canid host, I believe. Yeah. So maybe... it's carrying a lot of shit. Maybe the parasites have been infecting the Canids. And that's the cause of all the bother in here.
Nice hit.
Kavai's legs are getting broke. Seems I should probably help out with that other Canid.
Our victory is their defeat.
There we go. Victory is ours. Parasite. No, we won't take that. We've got too many perks as it is. Now, geological data. So they found out about the parasite, and its internal biology is highly modular. Nervous system holds string kernel-like cells. Thought manipulation, thought control. Beginning taste ingestion test now. May the law protect my atoms. Spoiler alert, it did not. Your atoms were unprotected. Grenade launcher 3. Should we grab it? I don't know if anyone on the team's using a grenade launcher right now. It could be fun. Now, let's go find the other bits that we need. Not sure which way to go. I guess we just head in the direction of unkilled enemies. Like this guy.
We've got a fight on our hands.
Don't mess with us!
And that guy.
Here we go.
Nope. Didn't teleport. Clever little buggers. So what's happened over here? So corporate have authorized the name. Let's see. They're going to figure out what to do with him, and then give him a new name. Created the organic waste of the same terraforming system that operates the atmospheric complex. So it probably wouldn't exist without Rizzo's. Which is no surprise to anyone. The third one appears to be below us, but I'm not sure how to get to it. Because it might be that we have to go up to go down. Alright, so according to the map, we're on it. But there are 2 floors. Oh. Second floor looks rather interesting. So how would one get to that second floor? By finding a way to that lift, perhaps? Is it a lift? There we go. We were running around and we almost found it, but then we've actually found it now. Makes sense that they weren't just living in caves, but that they actually had a lab around about. Got some hosts.
Don't mess with us.
They're only humans. They can go down nice and easy. Yeah, that'll do that one. And here's the final service. That'll be the doctor, probably. World's beautiful beyond compare. Blah, blah. So yeah, they basically got infected with the parasites. It drove them all mad. Nothing that we didn't already know. Terminal. Last entry. Dr. Amir Zhao. This is to inform you that Rizzo's has been notified of your exploration. Closest living relatives will be rewarded 1 crate of Spectrum Brown. Shipping and delivery fees have been waived. Amazing. And then supervisor clearance. Let's hack that. Cool. Access, yes. Now printing memory contents. Let's isolate the passcode. There we go. We've got a passcode. Let's memorize that passcode. That could help us down the line. And another terminal. Lab notes. 2 files recovered. I see a third. Let's see. So, the parasite dissolves in acid, burns in fire, etc. Creatures vulnerable when alone. Bonding with a host protects it. Stuff we already knew. Terrores can bond with them as well. Interesting. Now, is there anything else to do around here? It seems as though we've already found the thing nice and early. But there's a whole other bit of this place, so... it'd be rude to leave without exploring, wouldn't it? Why would there be a bonfire in one of these rooms? That seems silly. Unless it took a while for everyone to get infected. Oh, hello. A disciple.
I'm going to absolutely murder the next quarterly report.
So maybe the people in here aren't... maybe they're worshipping a giant slug queen. Maybe that's what's happening here. And they've just been mind controlled, but they haven't completely lost it.
Captain, what is this place and why is everybody acting so strange? Oh, Law. They ain't cannibals, right?
Let's see. Prophet Disciple Daily Schedule. So it's relating to the Prophet. Perhaps. We accidentally stumbled upon the Prophet of Profitability's base whilst we're down here.
Great work.
Is this just an exit? Yeah, that's an exit. Another terminal, private meditation terminal. Okay, so Ruth/Helen may have come here. She said it was all a bunch of bollocks, and then she realised she may have gone too far and cost the Prophet rather a lot of their profits. And so she agreed to potentially come here to make amends to some extent. Very well. Either way, let's bob outside and finish this quest for Virgil. So, abandoned Rizzo's bunker is another map point that we found. Yeah, so it's just those two little small buildings that we've not really explored around here. More mantisaurs. Where did you all
A
come
fight.
from? God, it's loads of buggers. Come on, crew. On with the job. Well done, everyone.
That's the last of them.
Excellent. Virgil, we finished your side quest.
Excellent to see you again, my friend. Hope you've been keeping your head high.
I think we found everything.
What are these? Research data pads? Not quite what I expected. Let's see what they say. Parasites, caves, thought control. He did what now? Well, it doesn't look like any of this is in violation, but it is disturbing. And disturbing a surprised auditor is as foul as failing to file proper paperwork. Rizzos shall pay dividends for my psychological damage. Here's your reward, my friend.
Hooray.
Your contributions to the field of surprise auditing shall not go forgotten.
Good. Glad to hear it. Now, back we go to the bunker. Let's try and track down this prophet, shall we? Also, let's use their workbench. Ah, yes, this big tent in the middle. That would be where the prophet resides.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Oh, what you got for us? Gun. So there's the prophet. There's what? What am I looking at? Is there something outside? I'm not seeing... There we go.
Analysis suggests this to be a variety of herbs. Herbs have been uniformly treated with a pungent chemical mix. Warning: ingesting, smoking, or inserting non-corporation sanctioned substances into your ears may be harmful to your health.
So we don't have the medical. Let's see, can you analyse the chemical these herbs are treated with?
Analyzing. Complete. Substance appears to be a mix of industrial solvents and various essential oils. Substances include woolly cow dander remover, sprat oil, and starship surface wax.
Not good for you then. Now, how would these most likely be used?
Prior analysis suggests these herbs reach peak effectiveness when users burn them and inhale the resulting smoke. Whether or not this increased effectiveness is good for an afflicted individual has yet to be determined.
Go on then, we'll have a little nibble. It's woodsy, with a singed aftertaste. Nice.
Hypothesizing potential side effects from herb consumption. Most likely outcome, decapitation.
Gripes.
Slight possibility of calculation error.
Ah. Okay, let's move on. We haven't fully figured out that. Now, here's our profit. Oh, profitability.
Okay, gone quiet.
See what's in their pockets before we get them to spill the beans. Very profitable. Right, you. Give up the truth. Or I'll shoot you in the knees.
Fruitful and productive welcome, sister. I had a feeling you would visit me. I offer a wide variety of productivity seminars. I hope you'll consider taking one. But I should remember my manners. To what do I owe the pleasure of the Special Inspector's arrival?
Nice encampment you've got here. Where do you indoctrinate people?
We indoctrinate people in the back. Wait. That was a jibe, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
With that said, I'd love to involve you in one of my productivity seminars. We should clear you of all those nasty, nasty humors hampering your potential.
Didn't Helen say you were a hack?
Absolutely not. Any statements by Ms. Helen about us were blown out of proportion and altered by the media. In fact, she quite recently... excuse me. I seem to be remembering something that never happened. Whatever the case, I'm sure her speech about us was all a misunderstanding.
Yeah. Sorry, Prophet. I don't think I can spare the time. I've got a murder to look into.
Yes, I understand the pressure of one's employment all too well. We've lately been looking into more ways to bolster the retreat stock of bits. But you needn't worry about how this little conversation is affecting my livelihood, sister.
Good.
Please, take your time. I'm delighted to extend my desire to aid you, sister. How might I assist?
You got some interesting herbs in here.
I'm pleased that you noticed. Excellent eye, sister. The compound they're treated with is my own invention, designed to unlock an individual's true productive potential when burned. I can't say any more. Trade secrets, you know.
They seem toxic. Toxic enough to potentially kill someone.
None of my clients have ever complained, so I'm sure they're perfectly safe. Is there anything else?
She's getting snippy now. You said you had no further interaction with Helen before her death, right?
Yes, that's correct. She made it clear that my seminars were of no interest to her.
I saw the message on your terminal about her attending a session.
Well, I suppose that does complicate things. Whatever the case, I didn't care to mention Helen's change in decision because she never showed up. I don't see how it matters.
Okay, I'm going to ask you some questions. Please answer these ones truthfully if you can.
Oh? I'm surprised. I wouldn't think the two of us would have much to discuss about her. We may have had some terse interactions before her death, which I most certainly regret. But beyond those, well, never mind. What would you care to know?
You didn't get on.
I wouldn't necessarily say that. The media tends to exaggerate. I will admit that her remarks about my seminars were rather unfortunate. However, I certainly wouldn't sharpen any sabers over it, if that's what you mean to imply. I only do that when my clients skimp on their bills.
Did you contact her after you left the Grand Colonial?
I did not. She had no interest in my seminars, and I had no interest in attempting to convert a stubborn actress. Why would I have had any cause to engage with her further?
Where were you at the time of her murder?
Why, I've been at the Wilderness Exploitation Reserve for quite some time now, as my disciples can attest.
It's probably true.
In fact, I haven't visited the Colonials since I arrived several weeks ago. Bad energies, you understand. I hope you now realize that I had nothing to do with Helen's demise.
Probably true. That's all for now. But we do need to investigate her alibi. We're probably going to find that she has actually been somewhere else. Isn't that right, Aaliyah?
Hello! Welcome to the Prophet of Profitability's Private Prosperity Retreat. Stay positive, and soon all your humors will be balanced. Least, that's what I keep telling myself. Anyway, I'm Aaliyah Mason. I work as the Prophet's right-hand woman. What can I do for you?
For a positivity disciple, you do sound a little less than enthused.
Oh, terribly sorry if I gave you that impression. I had a cramp. It's better now.
Oh, good.
I mean, it might be nice if I had a little inclination of whether the Prophet appreciated all the cooking and cleaning and hours of meditation I do on a daily basis. But whatever she thinks isn't for me to question. I'll do my best to be more chipper.
Lovely. Now, do you know the Prophet well?
Of course. I've been studying under her for years. I know each of her techniques more or less by heart, and even have some variations of my own, such as the quintuple daily stomach purges. She's promised me that I'd be allowed to open my own branch of the retreat someday soon. Of course, I've been waiting on someday soon for coming up on 4 years now. I'm sure it's gonna happen anytime now.
Yeah, not very smart. Now, what can you tell me about the retreat?
If you felt imbalanced and unproductive, linger in your malaise no longer. We have all the amenities and practices for calming the ill humors strangling your potential. Sit for hours in our sweat house and sweat them out, or stand amidst burning coals and feel your productive inhibitions burn away. And remember, think positive. Positivity equals productivity equals profitability.
I mean, the sweat house sounds fun. Anyway, murder questions.
Oh my. Yes, this is important enough for me to delay my bi-hourly self-flagellation. Ask away.
So the Prophet did have some sort of feud with Helen, right?
Yes, the circumstances there are quite unfortunate. For a time, the Prophet was completely despondent. Even the hot coal walks weren't buoying her spirits as they usually do. However, we recently had a high-profile visitor whose presence seemed to alleviate whatever the Prophet's fears were.
Spencer Woolrich?
Oh, you must have misheard me. I said high profile, not had profile. Mr. Woolrich comes by much too often to be worth mentioning.
You notice any unusual behaviour in the retreat lately?
Well, by and large, no. But something rather odd did happen regarding the Prophet recently. A few hours after our high-profile visitor arrived a couple of days ago, the Prophet asked me to take over sessions for the remainder of the day.
Sounds like a hole in the
At
alibi.
first, I was excited. Thought it was my chance to show her what I could do in charge. But then I saw that she was deeply worried about something. No one saw her until the next day.
Where were you at the time of the murder?
I was here, at the retreat in the company of the other disciples and clients. I rarely have more than a few minutes of alone time. Which is fine, of course. I do what I do in the service of the Prophet. Who will, I'm sure, reward me for my sacrifice. Eventually.
Now, let's go back to that high-profile question, if we can.
How?
Who was this high-profile visitor?
I'm actually not entirely certain.
Ooh.
It was a surreptitious visit that stood out because it was surreptitious. Whoever it was must have paid the Prophet quite a lot to keep things quiet. At least that's the only reason I can think of for intentionally keeping things so hush-hush.
Goodbye.
Actually, before you go, I want to report something suspicious.
Please do.
I noticed the Prophet dragging something, a bundle, away from the retreat after that high-profile guest arrived. Normally, I'm the one who does her laundry, so it was strange. Especially because whatever she was dragging seemed oddly human-shaped.
Sure it was a body?
I think so. Had the right size and shape.
Couldn't you have brought this information forward a little earlier?
I could have, but I generally don't have the time or energy to leave the reserve to contact anyone. Plus, there's always the possibility that I'm mistaken.
Okay.
The Prophet hasn't been herself lately. But if I misinterpreted the situation and reported her improperly, I'd ruin my chances for opening my own wing of the retreat.
Okay, we'll look into it. Now, we could go back and beat the truth out of the Prophet, perhaps. But we could also look for the body. Footprints.
Identifying human footprints leading out into the wilderness. It is unusual for productivity disciples to wander more than a few feet from the camp.
Let's see, so they're not mine. Got any idea who made them? Might be the Prophet.
Scanning. Checking database of shoe sizes and height-weight ratios. Judging by footprint depressions and shoe size. These prints were either made by the Prophet of Profitability or Adjutant Sophia Akande. Error. Recalibrating. These footprints were made by the Prophet of Profitability.
Cool. Yeah, because she's not yet been shot. So it's probably her.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
What we got now? More footprints.
Detected additional tracks belonging to the Prophet of Profitability.
And then further footprints.
Timeline discrepancy additional tracks belonging to the Prophet of Profitability.
And then a Rhapsodon.
Nice hit!
And then a second one. Okay.
Well done. We are victorious.
We are victorious. We are often victorious. And the Sprat. Is the Sprat a clue? Disturbed ground.
Judging by the shape of this indentation in the dirt, a person of medium height and build laid here for a number of hours. Scanning for other details. Only additional signs of disturbance are a few marks in the dirt.
Corpses don't get up and walk away, and there's no evidence of the body being torn apart.
Agreed. Likely theory. Individual injured was unconscious, not dead, and walked away after awakening.
Okay, this complicates things. Let's see if we can now beat the truth out of the Prophet. Oh wait, spotted now. Just more footprints. Yeah. So, somebody came to see the Prophet with a body. And then the body got dragged away. So maybe they thought the body was dead, but they actually weren't and they escaped. I'm still thinking that Helen is still alive.
Welcome back, sister. I'm delighted to extend my desire to aid you, sister. How might I assist?
Tell me the truth or I'll break your legs, sister. Yeah, I followed your trails where you dumped something in the wilderness.
Oh, really? What did you find there? What did I dump?
I think it was your morals.
Clever work, Inspector. It seems even I can't slide my way out of the trap you've so intricately weaved. I admit it. I killed Helen. By mistake. Helen changed her mind and wanted to attend one of my sessions. I, knowing the importance of the seminar, desired to truly galvanize her, though not to stop her heart. So when it came time, I chose to double Helen's dosage of productivity-enhancing herbs. I left her to meditate, and when I returned, she was dead. After that, I entered a less than coherent state. One of my disciples, it seems, witnessed me as I dragged Helen's body out into the wilderness.
You sure Helen was dead?
I'm no medical professional, but that certainly seemed the case. Usually my customers at least writhe or mumble after a session. My productivity-enhancing herbs typically do induce sluggishness, but I suppose they must have been enough to do her in if her constitution was truly that weak.
Actually, I don't think you killed anybody. Certainly not Helen.
What? Is this some kind of joke? You're an inspector. It's your job to arrest me, isn't it?
Look, if Helen's body wasn't where you left it, she must have awakened and walked away.
No. Someone must have moved it after I killed her. One of my business rivals, waiting for me to fall into a false sense of security so they can strike.
Her body was found at the Grand Colonial. She was killed there.
I don't believe you. I think this is all a trick. You're trying to catch me in a lie. Get me to reveal my productivity secrets.
The only thing you've done is be completely negligent.
No. You can't trick me. I finally discovered what's happening. You've been paid off. Someone else learned that I killed Helen and is going to use that information to blackmail me. You think I'm going to let this injustice happen? Ha! Tell the constable that I killed Helen. It's 1,000 times less miserable than whatever my enemies have planned.
I'm not getting the deputy or anyone else to falsely imprison you.
You monster! What am I supposed to do now? They'll be here soon. And once they arrive, I'll be powerless. Powerless! I just want to go to prison! Is that so wrong?
Yeah, it's a bit weird. Now, we're going to probably go about our business, if that's okay. Because all roads now point to Lou. Curious.